Organic farming is steadily increasing. That's good.
Pour parler d'agriculture et d'Europe à la jeunesse.
Der Klimawandel erfasst immer weitere Teile der Welt.
Farmers help us bring nature back and preserve biodiversity.
Ceux qui sont dans le rouge s'en sortent quand ils font plus vert.
La qualité dans ce pays, elle doit être là pour tous.
Welcome to Food for Europe, a podcast coming to you from the heart of Europe in Brussels, bringing you stories, analysis and interviews on something that's transforming the way we shop, eat and cultivate our precious, scattered farmland: organic food. In a time of COVID, 2022 may seem like light years away, but in just over 9 months, an EU law covering organic farming will come into force, making it easier for small enterprises to enter the field, as it were, combating fraud, and increasing the range of organic products to include things like salt, cork, beeswax and vine leaves. March the 31st this year marks another milestone in the calendar, the moment when the EU launches its Organic Action Plan, a key target of which is to convert 25% of farmland to organic by 2030. Right now it's around 8%. A tad ambitious to hit 25% in just 9 years? Not so, insists the EU. It's not only doable, but exceedable. And if Europe's exploding consumption of organic food is anything to go by, it should be. Over the next weeks, we'll be looking at these and neighbouring issues in depth. First, though, we'll start with some base definitions. The EU organic logo, a green leaf incorporating the 12 stars of the EU. It's clear, identifiable, and is recognised by consumers. But what exactly constitutes organic? We put that to a man who ought to know, as not only is he the European Union's Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, he's also a child of the fields in his own native Poland. Commissioner Janusz Wojciechowski.
The new logo combines two well-known symbols, the European flag and a leaf symbolizing nature and sustainability. It is now well recognized by the majority of European citizens, as I said, 56%, but also on the international market. So, as I see it, the European Union successive regulations and the financial support provided to the sector by the Common Agriculture Policy were keys to shape the market for organic products and accompany its development. For me today, organic production is a concrete example of a viable business model for sustainable production. To really understand what organic production is, you have to go back in the past, 30 years ago exactly, when the first EU harmonized rules on organic production were published. At that time, organic production was being developed in several member states, but the organic sector was considered only as a niche market reserved to specialized shops and not destined to mainstream consumers. With the development of the European Union internal market, there was a need to harmonize practices between member states. The goal was to avoid unfair competition between EU producers. The values of this voluntary quality scheme are clear: to produce high-quality products while preserving natural resources by limiting the use of external inputs like pesticides and fertilizers. Also from the start, the European Union rules are robust. They are based on core values. Compliance with the rules is ensured by a specific control and certification system.
20 years or so ago, there was a paradigm shift in consumption. More and more people turn to organic for health reasons and to exercise an active choice. What, in your view, caused this shift?
I completely agree with you. Consumption of organic products has exploded over the last years. If you don't mind, let me start by quoting a few important facts and figures describing the EU market. The EU ranks second in global organic consumption after US. Over the last 10 years, the EU market doubled its size and it continues growing at a significant pace, 7.7% in 2018 compared to 2017, indicating that it has not yet reached its maturity stage. It appears that conventional stores, instead of specialized organic shops, represent now the main distribution channel in the European Union. Other distribution channels of organic products include the catering industry, online sales or direct sales, for example, box scheme delivery. The member states and the Commission need to make sure that the organic production remains faithful to its core values and that consumer rights and expectations are fully met. For the Commission, consumers' trust is key.
Central to all this, too, is economic viability for farmers who, in most cases, have taken enormous risks in either converting to organic from conventional intensive farming or in adopting it from the start. And here the terrain is strewn with rocks. Take Trevor Harris, for example. He has 2 farms just southwest of Dublin in Ireland. One is 55 hectares of organic, mixed-use land for cattle, sheep, forestry and cereal for the production of biodynamic whisky. There's an Irish thing for you. The other smaller holding is dedicated to vegetables for restaurants and retail. Before addressing the often precarious economic picture, he told me first about his passion for soil.
It's the anchor for my livelihood, and it's what will support my family. They say in a handful of healthy soil, there's over 7.5 billion microorganisms. Now, in a handful of unhealthy soil, there's nothing. There's also an environmental knock-on effect of having that soil healthy. And the environmental knock-on effect is that there's resilience built into it, in the sense that if you have an extreme weather event, be it a drought or an awful lot of rain, it's much better able to deal with that.
Ireland is a country with low organic cultivation, around 2% of the total, well below the EU average of 8%. How easy or difficult was conversion for you?
The biggest thing I find is that the farmer has to be converted first, and the farmer has to have a level of passion and interest in organic farming in order for the conversion period to be successful. The process itself, it was reasonably difficult for the 2 years of conversion. You know, you're selling your produce at the commodity price rate, and you're not getting the same amount of products as you would have been in the past. I'm an organic farmer over 20 years, since 1999, and even at this stage, the level of information is reasonably limited.
In terms of reform, for organic farmers and those professional bodies representing them, levelling the playing field is key. Jan Plagge, president of IFOAM Europe, the International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movements, explains that the field is anything but level right now.
We have not a level playing field for farm decisions. One example is the implementation of the Common Agriculture Policy, rural development measures in the second pillar. When you compare it in different member states, this implementation, there's often that an organic farmer gets less money for more performance than a conventional farmer who reduce the use of pesticides, while an organic farmer reduced to zero and have 10 or 20 other benefits delivering, but gets less money.
And what's the fix to that?
The policymakers have a fair system of indicators which system delivers what. Which farm system delivers in a long-term perspective to ecosystem services, to climate protection, to animal welfare. And that is not the case.
So what does Commissioner Wojciechowski make of these misgivings?
The common agriculture policies, rural development programs have made available financial support to farmers to convert their holdings to organic production and to maintain them. This support has proven fundamental in incentivizing farmers to join the organic scheme. It is a major factor in the impressive increase in land area covered by organic production.
One of the areas that we've heard about is a big gap, a big variation in terms of quality and yield between produce produced by organic farmers and traditional farmers, and that those organic farmers are having to work to quality standards which have been imposed by the Commission through its regulations. How do you intend to address that quality and yield gap?
One of the constant objectives of the Commission regarding organic farming has been to harmonize the rules between the different member states in order to ensure a fair competition between organic operators and provide high-quality organic products to consumers. Let's not forget that organic farming is a voluntary quality scheme, and that consumers' trust is key, since finally they are the ones ready to pay a premium for organic products. It is true that EU legislation sets strict standards, but keep in mind that these standards apply mainly to the management of the production system and the different climatic conditions across the 27 member states will, of course, create variations in quality and yield.
This issue is also central to the capacity of organic farming in the EU to provide food security. As world population increases exponentially, so too will the demand for food. And this, Commissioner Wojciechowski adamantly believes, is an opportunity.
The main lessons from my first year as a commissioner, it was special lesson because there is time of the pandemic, the big crisis, and it is the lesson that, firstly, we need to build our food security based on potential of our own agriculture. That international trade also is important, but to be secure, it's necessary to strengthen our own agriculture.
How do you think specifically organic farming can contribute to food security in the coming years?
I can hear many concerns that you support organic farming. This is against the food security because reduction of pesticides, reduction of use of fertilizers. In my point of view, this is not true, because this is the chance for the farmers who now has no chance. And this is the chance to increase the number of farmers participating. Food security should be not based on big intensive farms. We need to give support for all farmers. We will have more high quality products on our market. I have no concerns about the negative impact of organic farming for the food security. No, absolutely. Organic farming will strengthen our food security.
Many thanks, Commissioner Wojciechowski, for joining us and sharing your views. Our thanks too to Irish organic farmer Trevor Harris and to Jan Plagge, President of IFOAM Europe. The next podcast in the series will cover the ins and outs of the process that puts law and the rules, not just organic food, on our tables. That'll be presented by my colleague Stephen Jones. Don't forget you can hear this podcast on demand at any time following our web links and social media links. Also, the French and German editions presented by my colleague Patrick Delfosse. Until the next time, goodbye.
Organic farming is steadily increasing. That's good.
Pour parler d'agriculture et d'Europe à la jeunesse.
Der Klimawandel erfasst immer weitere Teile der Welt.
Farmers help us bring nature back and preserve biodiversity.
Ceux qui sont dans le rouge s'en sortent quand ils font plus vert.
La qualité dans ce pays, elle doit être là pour tous.